Like,
the boy got ran
Look at how
over,
many
and they gave him his
people in the
car.
comments.
stream a documentary. How about that?
Look at how many people in
They
the
don't have to
comments
spell it,
saying,
woman. They don't know how to spell the word.
I didn't know. Somebody just said, I live in Mississippi and didn't
It was
know
a girl that
about
came
it.
in my panel. She said she stayed 2 hours away, and she didn't know about it until AJ and them covering the story.
Then why would you go to a protest and be quiet? What the fuck are we
But no
talking about?
silent protests. Yes, they have had those, but that wasn't what this was. The purpose is to be loud. You want to be noticed. You want to
Protests
call
are like sit-ins. Okay, we're gonna lock ourselves in here and not say nothing. Normally, they exchange the audio for a equally disruptive thing. We're gonna chain ourselves to this door. We're not gonna speak. We're gonna sit in somewhere. Go ahead, Rose. Y'all, because Rose, she on this new heel thing. She don't be like to interrupt people, so we gotta let her go.
I hate you. Come on, everyone.
Good morning.
I'm just listening. I don't understand. So I could understand saying, you putting yourself at risk by protesting. I could understand if that's why people were screaming like, this bitch about to scare, you know what I'm saying? She about to get herself in some trouble if she doesn't be careful. That's the only thing I can understand why somebody's saying anything. And I don't like AJ at all. But at the end of the day, if a person is stepping out and they're speaking up for what is right, then I low-key don't understand why it's an issue. Do I feel like it's dangerous because of what we're in right now, because of how the world is? Absolutely. Do I feel like it's stupid to do it right now? I do. However, if you decide, and the reason because at the end of the day, a lot of these sundown towns, like if I'm not mistaken, wasn't they trying to lock her in? When they trying to block her from leaving, if I'm not mistaken, didn't the police try to block her away?
Yeah, they did. She did have some scary moments.
Yeah, so I'm saying like I can say like, okay, that's dangerous. That's my opinion though. At the end of the day, if she decides that she want to step out and she wants to protest for whatever she believes is right, can't nobody judge her for that. At the end of the day, you can have your opinion all day long, but to sit up here and judge a person who's stepping out for a child who lost their life or a family who their story's not being told, the fact that people is in the area who don't know about it should tell you everything that you need to know. That's the world that we live in right now. That they're suppressing Black lives that are being lost. They're suppressing that shit. It's her choice. I can't be mad at her choice. I can have my opinion all day long. But at the end of the day, as long as she's safe and she get back to her family, that's all that matters.
But the thing is,
a sundown town is a town where if you are Black and the sun goes down, you may not make it out, and nothing's gonna happen. The police, the local law enforcement, the local residents, everybody knows it. Your body will be done away with. No one will. Your family will never see you again.
That happened to a trucker,
and they're everywhere. I'm from Ohio. We have them. $2 lives in Michigan. They have them. They're everywhere. It's not a Southern thing. It's an American thing. Go ahead, lad.
I just want to say that I think that we've been on Messy Talk way too long to understand when somebody really does something serious, because every protest I can't say every protest, but protesting normally involves you risking your life. You're protesting for something. You're risking your life just to say, I want to stand up for this. I don't know who else has a problem, but if you got a problem with it, come stand with me, and we're going to risk our lives to show them, or to just show people that you're not going to keep doing this. Or, Martin Luther King and the people that protested back then, they had no idea that we were actually going to be to the level we are now, but they risked their lives because even if I'm not here to see it, I want it to be done. I want it to be marked that this is what we are fighting for. So if anything, we should all put our judgment aside because we're at home safe. And AJ literally said, we see her inspect shit all the time. I call her Inspector Gadget. I've had my issues with AJ, but let me tell you something. What she did was some stand-up shit, and anybody that sit around on a live in the comfort of their own home laughing at her are some cowards and scoundrels, and I wouldn't put... fuck yeah. I appreciate what AJ did. AJ did it for that boy and any other boys and girls to come after.
And the culture of protesting, sorry, let me just, I'll be really quick. I was
protested?
just,
Has anybody actually protested before? Do they know what that looks
yes,
like?
absolutely. I've protested. I've said it yesterday. I protested in Miami, so I was surprised that I
No,
didn't.
that's why I said
But
it.
let me be very
I'm like, for the
clear.
people who ain't
Sorry,
never
I'm almost done.
protested, them the ones
I
who
was talking first. Sorry. So the culture of protesting today
Hey, now, y'all.
is about digital surveillance. So not only did, AJ and the other people who came from TikTok and everybody else who was there, like they are also putting themselves at risk of being digitally surveilled. If you look at the protesters and the organizers from, Ferguson, if you look at, the people from Minnesota, their cars have been blown up. Their lives have been taken. They have been harassed. Some of them have been tortured inside of, jails. They've been illegally detained. They're currently being watched. And so, again, when you put yourself out there, I do think that AJ understood at least some of the risk, but that's the point, right? If you can't do it, I can. If you're not able to protest because you don't have the money to be bailed out, I'm going to speak up for you. I'm going to speak up for the rest of us. So is there some argument, I think, about certain kinds of protests that maybe we shouldn't be attending? 1000%. But I don't know. That's kind of the point, is to know that like there is a possibility that something could happen to you and you're going to do it anyway, because the people can't speak up. The family, I'm sure that they would want to be as vocal and as loud, but they shouldn't have to be. They should be able to grieve, right? And the rest of us who are able-bodied, the rest of us who have tools, who have knowledge, even if your knowledge is making a poster, even if it's putting up a tweet or making a TikTok, like use what you have, right? To advocate for the things that you care about. And I know we're on Messy Talk, so like that's not really what we talk about, but I'm sure that you guys do that in your real life in some capacity. So
Can I go now? Were you done? Okay, she's done. And Dime, aka Bookman, because she said she was gonna be quick, but Bookman had the audacity to say, and out of all the things that she could have been doing, you exactly motherfucking right, Dime. Out of all the things that she could have been doing, she chose to risk her life to protest for a little boy whose life was taken. Yeah, you're right. Out of all the things that she could have been doing, she could have been playing with her kids or working or making money. But yet she chose to go down there and fight for something. What the fuck are you doing?
Who's trying to get y'all?
Maybe, Rose.
May I go?
Go ahead. So I'm her. Then I know Yes was up. I heard you. And we started back at the top.
Okay, so I just feel like everybody's up here talking about, well, some people was up here saying, oh, it's dangerous. It's dangerous every time we leave our house. So that dangerous point is smooth. If I can walk out my house and get pum pum, me marching for a cause and I might get pum pum, I'd rather march for something than stand for nothing. We have to get out of that rhetoric where, oh, it's dangerous. And then in the same breath talk about community. Oh, it's dangerous. Community. Like, what are you? Are you for or are you against? Let's stop the rhetoric conversation and the oh, I'm for my community, but oh, I'm scared to do it. No, that's not, you're not for the community then. Because guess what? For my community, I lay down about my community. And I do. So when we had the riots here for Draymond Reed in Indianapolis, Indiana, baby, we tore this motherfucker up. And stopped people from tearing things up too. So again, if you're not a part of galvanizing, then maybe you just need to sit back and watch it happen and don't comment on it, because everything don't deserve a comment, especially when you're not being a part of the work. When are we gonna move forward? Everybody talking about, oh, what about the community this and community that, and people want community to support, but when it's a time to support and stand up, you have so much you are met with so much opposition from your own people. And that's why I don't focus on the people who ain't, and I focus on the people who are, and I'm gonna build them up every chance I get. And I digress.
Thank you, Miss I'm Her. Now that is true now, y'all. The reality is, even inside our homes, danger is forever imminent. It don't go no dang go. Laugh what you laughing at. It don't go nowhere, y'all. It don't. You could be in your house and have a carbon monoxide leak. If you ain't got no detector, we ain't gonna see you no more, friend. So yeah, danger is everywhere. That's so true. Go ahead, yes. Yes, you about to get skipped. Go ahead. All right.
Overall, I just think that this entire situation is just sick. You know, I think it's sick. And the people that are laughing are sick. I can't even.
Yes, get your
I can't
words together.
even.
We'll come back to you.
But you know, I do this when I talk.
Oh,
I'm saying I can't even fathom like what I because I did everything at $2. So I'm saying like for me to keep like having like repeating myself, I just think it's sick. I don't have any more words.
Okay, friend. Well, we agree. Let's move on to the next person.
Stop laughing at me.
Let us know when you get some more. All right. I heard you. Bitch, go ahead.
One of the first things I was going to say is kind of following up on what you said about sundown towns. Because again, just to emphasize again, they're not just only in southern parts of the U.S. There's actually a website down in, I mentioned it down in the comments. There's a website where it'll show you sundown towns by state. You're able to go in and see ones that based on historical data either have been previously a sundown town or currently are still places that you probably need to keep your eye out on. And if you're a person that travels and does it by car frequently, I suggest that being something you familiarize yourself with, because that's something you need to know when it comes to stopping for gas. When you planning your trip and you need to see, okay, we're going to take a stop here, spend the night at a hotel at this point in time. That's something that I think that you should know about and check on. What's the website? And it's you could just Google sundown town by state and it'll take you straight to the website. And then the second thing I was going to say is following up on what Cash said about not everybody is a frontline person. Some people join the cause by being people that kind of serve as first aid. So if somebody's protesting and get hurt, if they're a medical professional, they kind of stand to the side. There are people that use their legal background and help people bail out that are arrested from protesting. There are all kind of ways you can support the cause. Not everybody's a frontline person. Lay down your life ready to DIE about the cause. So yes, it is dangerous on the front line in certain instances, at certain protests more than others, but there are other ways to support it. If you have a platform on social media, you can be somebody that brings attention to the protests coming, to let people know, pass the word around, use your platform, use your voice that way. So it's ways to join the cause without being somebody who on the front line and out there with everybody that's willing to do the sit-ins and willing to do the shit where the police coming and throwing, not grenade, but smoke and shit like that. There's other ways to join the cause if you feel like the front line is dangerous. You don't have to be one of the ones out there.
But you sure ain't got to be one of the ones to talk about it. Now that's just counterproductive. Go ahead, Rose.
I don't got nothing to say. Everybody done said it.
Now, girl, you know you creative. Think of it. Shit.
I ain't never heard Rose talk that soft. Fuck y'all.
You can go and get out of therapy.
Look. Wait, did you tell her to get out of therapy?
Hell yeah. Shit.
Anyway, Rose, keep going with your therapy, baby.
Talking all quiet and stuff.
And
Yeah,
Essence put the link down there to the, my bad laugh. I was just going to say Essence put the link down there to the website where you can find where the sundown towns were. My bad.
And that's exactly what we're talking about now. Like, I really appreciate AJ because I ain't going to Mississippi.
I'm showing.
And I'm just being honest. Like, it's people saying, you know, I would have went, but I had to. Fuck that.
Yeah, don't lie.
I wasn't going.
I didn't have anything to do when I wasn't going.
I just wasn't going. So I appreciate her. I appreciate her for doing it just because I didn't even know about the story. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even know about this baby. It's so many babies losing their lives. Like, they slip by, the stories slip by sometimes, especially in places like Mississippi. And I appreciate her for going and risking her life. Like, I appreciate Martin Luther King for doing what he did. So you never know, like, what impact somebody is going to make just by taking a stance. So you never know if 20 years from now you have somebody saying, I appreciate what AJ did. You know, you just never know. So And I don't know
I'm
if,
sure that family show appreciate it. I
of
don't know who
course,
said
because
it.
they can't do as much as somebody can go down there and do and go home. You
They
know,
breathing. They should
yeah,
have
when
to.
it's, yep, right. They should be.
Like
They
my
should be
mother
doing.
said, as the community, and y'all need to call her Cash Money Mail. I'm not even gonna call her that. Thank you. But as the community, you know, we gotta also understand there has always been big fat dimes all throughout the time. You know what I'm saying? There's always been a big burly back linebacker built back bitch, butter biscuit eating bitch that always was sitting at home watching people put the damn work in just to benefit. You know what I'm saying? Don't get offended. I eat biscuits too, but we're talking about dime right now.
Me too.
You know,
Slow down.
And
you
do
know,
you
it
see
was
my? You can see
always
my back
somebody.
right now when I'm
Now, Essence,
facing.
why you call me and you see I'm in the middle of my broadcast in my rose voice? Hold on, y'all. Hello?
Oh, please.
Essa said, "Bitch, take the chicken out, ho."
Okay.
This is the one drop the chicken.
I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I like stuff like
Okay.
that. I like
Hold on,
challenging.
y'all. We got to get to Susu's. I heard the mom of the child is over there.
Okay, let's get
Oh,
the
Lord.
susu.
Okay.
No, we ain't leaving. We just about to pull it up.
I mean, I'm not going.
Finna
Wait,
say,
to
Trina, now I
Susu's
know
or the
you finna hang your
AJ's?
live, bitch.
Nigga, you
Nope.
said let's get the susu. That nigga
Now
said
I
no.
will
We
say
ain't
this
leaving.
though.
No,
I
we
will
can go
say
to
that
Susu's.
it's very disheartening because every time you turn around, something's happening. Because not only
Mm-hmm.
is this little boy situation serious, it's like I think there's like a little boy in Texas who was being bullied and unalived. The person who was bullying him or
Yep.
beating him up, and they set
Yes,
his
ma'am.
fucking bond to a milli,
Yes, ma'am.
Carmelo Anthony, free Carmelo.
Free
and they won't
Carmelo.
release him. It's so much every time you turn around. I think there's a situation in Georgia where these little boys, the MARTA bus driver was harming these kids and like trying to hurt them, and they defended themselves and they locked all three of this woman kids up and trying to throw the book at them, and they babies.
No.
And they're not even, in Carmelo Anthony's case, they're not even listening to the other people who were under the tent with him. There were actually adults under there who said the boys came from a whole nother area to bully him and get him from under the tent. And yeah, it's crazy
We
how
all know at a track meet, baby, you sit with your team.
you go where
Right.
you want to
So
go.
you don't go sit up under nobody else's tent that ain't your team. It's just the little child.
Okay, so
Antagonize.
what's the dude's name who mama gave him a ride to go unalive some folks?
Oh shit.
And he got off. But he was a white T boy.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh shit, I
What's
don't
his
know.
name, y'all? His mama gave him a ride to go unalive. He unalived 3 people and he got off. Rittenhouse. That's his name.
Well, his mom gave him a ride to that?
Didn't his mama give him a ride, y'all? I know that ain't true.
Oh, I thought he maybe got there himself, but yeah, I mean, yeah, Kyle Rittenhouse, what? He's now, he has a podcast, he has a little brand deal, he's an influencer, all kind of
That's the
stuff.
brand
So,
deal for me. That's
he's
It's the
been able
brand
to
deal.
essentially thrive after
Right.
taking the lives of people who were actually protesting. Like, he went right under the guise of, I'm going to bring my AR to protect businesses that didn't ask for protection. You're protecting buildings. Meanwhile, again, these people are laying down their lives for someone who lost their life. Like, it's sick. But to go back to, these little boys, it's like, if we can't keep them safe and alive, they're being exposed to the most dangerous and traumatic thing, which is the justice
Nikki in the factory.
No man.
like they're being exposed to, the things that go on inside of these detention centers. And we know that, it's not safe, it's not clean. All kinds of things are happening, whether it's abuse, violence, all of these things that like they can't unsee, they can't unexperience, even if, right, they receive some sort of justice. It's not like they'll receive any sort of compensation for the trauma that they experience. Some people's parents don't know how to deal with that shit. Like, it's just so many things that come along with real life shit. And so to go back to, again, you giggling at somebody who has the audacity to step outside of her comfort zone to speak about some shit that actually matters instead of recapping fucking gossip all day. And you want to know why she looks like that?
Did y'all hear about the man who was an EMT and he would intentionally give little black children big ass needles to take their blood on purpose?
Yes. That's sadistic.
He has a whole I got chills. And he had a whole podcast with full of like very like right like supremacist type, you know what I'm saying? Like them type of organizations, y'all, Triple K. He had a whole following where he talked about that shit and they laughed about it. And then when they took the nigga to fucking court, the judge was sitting here like he wanted the man to just apologize for us so he can let him go. And the man refused to let it go. He was like, oh, it's just a story. He wasn't. How do you know that it's real? This, that, and the third.
No.
And that's a real story, y'all. Like, and they doing that in the medical field. Everywhere you turn, black people are being harmed in different ways. And they coming for y'all babies. For real.
I was gonna say, did y'all hear about the lady that's a nurse that works in the NICU unit or whatever, and every time a baby is born, she finds a way to break their bones. Have y'all heard about that?
What?
I heard that shit. And it's
Y'all
all
know
black
what
babies.
was weird to me is the dude.
Yeah, little black baby.
That was he was like tainting the IV bags in the hospital. Like he was injecting the IV bags with something. And you know, most of the time when you go to the hospital and something really wrong with you, you're gonna get an IV. And yeah, I think somebody die, or one of the nurses took an IV home to administer it to herself.
There was a movie about that type of shit.
That's what it was. That was a real story. Yeah, that was a real story.
Yeah, they did a whole movie about that. And the only reason why they figured it out was...
Hey, hold on, y'all. Be quiet. AJ about to talk. We ain't cool right now. She gonna say it from Susu. Go ahead, AJ.
The protest was very empowering, but also I think that it was a testament to watch like those mamas continue to fight, and not just for themselves, but for other mamas. Watching people who were in some of the worst pain of their life, their babies were taken and they not getting justice, fight for other people. We went city to city together, and only one